Shaloha, everybody. Welcome back. I am excited because I get to share with you a project that I was commissioned for to paint on the drum of the woman who started the moccasins across America. I was so honored that she chose me to do it. I also set up my cameras and everything and captured the moment of me painting the drum. So you'll get to see that whole process that I will have available at the end. Welcome back to Messiah's Worship Warriors of the World. Okay, so like I shared with you guys in my Worship Warrior Flags video, I do custom work. So if you have anything that you would like created that is prophetic and that you want some art infused into, especially prayer, while making that art, I can do it for you. It just all depends on what the project is that you want to do. So I was asked by Terry Windtalker is her name. She's the main reason that Moccasins Across America came together. The father gave her the vision for it, and she just was a willing vessel, and it just has all come together so perfectly for her. And she asked me if I would paint her logo on her drum. I was like so kind of taken aback, honestly. I was really honored that she would ask me if I would do that for her. She had seen my painting done on my drum, and that, man, I did that years ago now. And the goal for me definitely was to be able to do custom work for people on their drums. It just didn't go anywhere. And honestly, a lot of that is kind of my fault. I've kept it hush hush that I can do custom work because I wasn't really sure if I could actually do it. I wasn't sure if I could keep up with the deadlines. And it was just a lot of things kind of rustling around in my head that I didn't know how to contend with at the time, and I just kind of left it there for the father to do something with it. And then Miss Terry asked me if I would do her drum, and so I couldn't say no. I was like, I would absolutely love to do your drum. There were some things that I was really nervous about because when I painted on my drum, I had no idea what kind of paints to use. I was worried about them staying on the drum. I was worried about peeling, cracking. I had found out then that I couldn't use lacquer because that definitely would make it crack eventually. So we just kind of bought something that seemed to make sense at the time, and it still didn't really completely do the job. So there was still a little bit of flaking off. However, this time I was like, Father, I really need you to help me with this. There's got to be something I can use that will stay on the drum. The drum maker that we have out here, who is just so phenomenal and anointed. In fact, I'm going to link his information below so that I can drum up some business for him. No pun intended, because he really is phenomenal. He is like the keeper of the drums out here. He is native and he's totally a worship warrior. He is a prayer warrior. He is on fire for God. And boy, you should hear his testimony. So Rock Pipestem is his name. And he said that I could use some Sharpies. And I was like, at first I thought, oh, I love that idea. However, there are certain restrictions that come with using Sharpies. You can't blend the colors together. And sometimes I like to do ombres. And I was just like, yeah, I don't think this is really gonna work. So I didn't go that route, but I did find some leather paints and especially a leather, I think it's called like a varnish or something that goes over the top of the paints and seals it onto the drum and prevents any flaking or anything else. After I had finished making the drum and everything, and I presented it to her. Of course, there were other natives there that had drums, and there was one who had one, and I was like, wow, I really love your drum. How long have you had that for? It just had a beautiful picture on it. I wish I could show you guys what it was. It was very detailed work. And I asked him if he knew what kind of paints were used on it, because I've never used this leather paint before. And I just wanted to hear from somebody else if they had used something similar and if it worked. And he told me that his friend used something that was a sealer, that was a leather sealer over the top of the paint. I'm not sure if the paint was actually leather paint. I don't really know about that. I didn't ask him that, although I'm kind of assuming it is. And he said that he's had the drum for many years and it has never flaked, cracked, peeled, chipped, none of that. So, and it definitely looked like it was still just as brand new as it must have been the day he got it. So I was really thrilled to hear that. And I am so happy with the way that it turned out. Oh, and it's really funny because when I do new projects like this, especially when they're projects that I'm really nervous about, I really press into Creator and ask him for help on so many different fronts. And I was really dreading doing this one. I mean, dreading it in a way that I was fearful that it wasn't going to work, and that either she was going to hate the work or that it wasn't going to stay on the drum. And so when I finally sat down, I had actually like had to talk myself into doing it, and I couldn't take that long anyway because I was on a time crunch to get it to her. So anyway, when I finally sat down to do it, I put some worship music on and I just started working, and I really had a good time. So, I mean, I feel like there were a lot of miracles that happened during that time frame because, a lot of times when I take a step back and I look at my work, especially when it's work that I've not really done before, I'm always shocked. I mean, I look at what I created and I'm like, there's no way I created something that beautiful by myself. I had help. The creator helped me. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys about all of that. Throughout the month, I am going to be posting a whole bunch of videos and pictures of our adventures with the Moccasins Across America to share with you guys. And also, Moccasins Across America is not over. So I would like to petition all of you out there to please keep them in prayer. Every single day they're doing something, they're walking somewhere, and they're praying over the land, and they're praying over people, and it's just so moving what they're doing. Of course, it's hot right now, so just pray for the protection of the walkers. There were some things that they shared with me, especially Miss Terry. She really had a hard time at the beginning of the walk, especially in New Mexico. And she actually shared that she nearly gave up. And so she really hurt her leg or her foot or something. I can't remember what it was. So she has a little bit of a limp now as a result of it. So just keep them all in prayer and pray them all the way up to Washington, D.C. That is the final route planned currently, although the way I understand it is that they're actually going to keep going after that on the East Coast, down the coast side. So that was not really planned initially, but so many people are really loving what they're doing that they're begging them to come to their states and whatnot. So this is a really big, awesome, amazing, phenomenal thing. And just like I said, please keep them in your prayers. Also, keep us in your prayers because we will be going up to Washington, D.C. also to finish out the walk. And so that will be taking place sometime between the 6th of October and the 10th of October. I'm not entirely sure yet. We actually are planning on traveling before that and after. Because it's looking more and more like we'll be taking our car. I won't get into all that. There's a lot of other things that were kind of like killing multiple birds with one stone. So I won't get into all that. There's a whole lot of reasons why we'd be taking our car. Anyway, keep us in prayer that God will provide for us all the things that we need all the monies that we need to get up there, etc., and also come home. Thank you so much, you guys, for your support and your prayers. And anytime you purchase anything from Messiah's Worship Warriors of the World, you are not only helping me to feed my family and house them, you're also helping me to get up to these events and do these mission trips. I really appreciate everything that you guys do for us. Remember, if you would like anything custom done, contact me. I'll have all of that information listed below for you. So, without further ado, here is the painting of the Sacred Nation Rises drum. Enjoy!